Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything once branded. The symbol of the curse. An augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drang Lake. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame, your wings will burn in anguish, time after time. For that is your fate, the fate of the cursed.
Welcome to Dark Souls 2. That was a pretty epic cutscene to start the game off, and I'm not really going to be saying all that much just now because we are going to be going into another cutscene. So I don't want to start too much of a conversation as I adjust the volume here because it's a little bit loud. Very excited to be doing this playthrough. I haven't finished the game yet, but I have a character who is a few steps ahead of this one at all times, so I can ensure that at least I know how to complete the areas. The environment in Dark Souls 2 is beautiful. I love it. Playing it on the PC makes it feel that much better because it just runs so much better than Dark Souls 1 does. The graphics are nicely optimized, the colors are nice and bright, the environments are awesome to explore through as we just do a little bit of exploring around this starting area. Maybe you knew about this, maybe you didn't. Just go underneath the waterfall, you pick up a smooth and silky stone, and we can trade this with a character later on. So we're just going to be heading into this house here and starting a new cutscene.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
I'm going to address that noise in just a second.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Yeah, so human effigy is replacing humanity from Dark Souls 1. I kind of missed the humanity. I thought it was a pretty neat mechanic, but human effigies are the exact same thing. So we're creating our character here, just going through a couple of different classes: warrior, knight, swordsman, bandit, cleric, sorcerer, explorer, and deprived. They all kind of specialize in one area or another at the start of the game, but it really doesn't matter who you choose because you can mold your character any way you want once you start leveling up. I'm going to go with the swordsman here because they start with a high dexterity, and I've actually thought about it, and I think at least the direction I want to take this character into right now is going to be dexterity based. So after doing some of the messing around with some of the physical appearance options, I'll give you a look at what he looks like once I've done that. So there is gdoggcasey, and we'll be following his adventures throughout the game of Dark Souls 2. So we're just going to go back to the cutscene here.
All people come here for the same reason, to break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door?
and trot along to the kingdom.
But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You'll lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
Wow, what a bunch of mean old ladies. I did pre-order this game, so there's some pre-order bonus stuff that starts off in your inventory, but I'm not going to be using any of it, just because I feel like it's cheating, and, you know, the weapons aren't even that good anyway. So it's actually not even cheating, but I'll start with the starting items. Come upstairs here, you can get a chest right off the bat. Dark Souls teaching you that you want to always be searching every nook and cranny, pretty much, because my first time through the game, I walked right past that staircase, so shit like that will happen. So I'm just kind of playing around with the moveset because I am a little bit newer to the scimitar and the short sword, dual wielding them. I'm pretty familiar with the scimitar from Dark Souls 1, and the moveset is pretty similar, but we'll get moving here. So you can actually have some dialogue with these ladies, but I'm actually going to skip that for now. I will come back and talk to them eventually, because I want this to be as much as a full playthrough as I can possibly do. But before we move forward, we're actually going to be coming back across the bridge and through this area here. You can see there's these gigantic footprints. That should be a hint as to what's coming up. Our first relatively tough enemy in the game. My first encounter with this guy was not the greatest, and I think it's because of the way the game feels compared to Dark Souls 1. This one is a little bit more realistic feeling, so it took a bit getting used to it, but as you can see, basically just using my dodge to stay out of his range, and occasionally he will do a double swing, which knocks him on his ass just like this. So just stay away from him and wait till he does that. He does have a move that could possibly kill you in one hit, depending on which class you decide to start with, but luckily we're doing pretty well against him right now, and we can finish him off. And it's a good thing to come kill this guy early on, because he's going to give you this ring, which is the stone ring. The stone ring adds poise damage to your attacks. So essentially what it does is it allows you to stagger the enemy a little bit more often. And because we're using a dexterity weapon, it's actually pretty good for us, because we're going to be landing more hits than we would be with a strength weapon. So we'll be taking advantage of that poise damage more often. So then you could just follow this way, and there is a hidden treasure somewhere around here, and I'm just looking for it. And there it is. Okay, we got it. What's that? Gold pine resin. Exactly the same as Dark Souls 1. It applies lightning damage to your weapon, and it allows you to kill some bosses pretty quickly. Just doing a little bit of exploration, trying to find some secret items. I'm not really finding any now. So no big deal. We're back in front of the Firekeeper's house, and we can actually continue along with the tutorial. Just trying to take in some of the environment here. It's an amazing environment, I have to say. I'm really happy with the environments, and also just how smooth this game runs on the PC. It's just, I can't say enough how happy I was when I first started playing, and I just realized, like, oh, this is like meant for PC now, you know. It just feels so much better. I am using a controller though, so you know, that kind of takes away from the PC experience, but this game is also meant to be played with a controller. So we'll rest at our first bonfire and start our way through the tutorial. Another cool thing about Dark Souls 2 is that if you want to skip the tutorial, you can. You just run past all these doors and you don't really have to deal with it. But we want to come in here because we want to get a little bit of experience and just show you guys the entire game. So there you go, taking care of business relatively easily. And by relatively easy, I mean absolutely extremely easy. This tutorial, though, is actually tougher, in my opinion, than the one from Dark Souls 1, and you'll see that as we go through it. It's playing around the moveset a little bit more. I love that attack there that I just did with the scimitar. It's pretty reliable. Here we can learn how to backstab. Backstabbing is much harder in this game. I don't know why. It's like the window of opportunity you have for it is much smaller than it is in Dark Souls 1, so you may not be seeing too many backstabs from me. I would pick up a dagger here, but I'm not going to be using that weapon. It's not very good at all. At least not the way I want to be playing. Playing around some more of the move set with the scimitar. If you hold it in two hands, this is what you have to work with. Not so bad. I'm not a fan of how they run holding the weapon in two hands, though. I don't like doing it. I don't know why. It just doesn't. I don't really know how you're supposed to hold it, I guess, but it just doesn't look all that natural there. Whoa, getting a little bit. I thought he died, to be completely honest. I was pretty sure he was dead, and I let him get a couple hits off on me here. And when you're starting off at the beginning, you really don't have that many hit points to mess around with. You can see I'm just a couple more of those away from dying. So we're actually going to demonstrate pressing the X button to crunch a life gem and heal some health back. Life gems are also new to Dark Souls. They heal at a pretty slow rate, but they're useful for when you're not in combat. Here's a nest.
You, give it Smooth. Yes, you! Give us Silky!
So that smooth and silky stone we found earlier, we can just drop it on the nest here.
Yeah. So nice, so smooth. Yeah! Silky smooth! You! Give us Smooth! Yes!
And we get the white ring in return. And it's kind of cool. You get a different item every time you drop a smooth and silky stone on the nest there. So the white ring just allows us to look like we're a phantom. It really has absolutely no benefit whatsoever. So I'll just put it on for a second there, but we really don't need it. I'd rather look like this. Kicking the ladder down, and we'll head on down. And move on to the next area. So while we fight our way through this area, I guess I'm just gonna let you guys know how I feel so far about the game. Being as how it's just come out for PC now. In all honesty, I haven't been able to keep myself from watching walkthrough videos already. I don't know what it is about Dark Souls itself. I know these games are meant to be discovered on your own, and I totally understand that. And actually, I'll get to something a bit later, but I've been watching a lot of these videos, and I couldn't wait to play it when it finally came out on PC. So I'm pretty familiar with the first couple areas, not only because I've watched a few videos, but also because I've played through the first couple areas a couple times already, just sort of prepping myself for these videos. You saw me do a jump there. You can actually jump whenever you want now. It's pretty similar to how it was in Dark Souls 1, except it's just a different button. You just click the left stick down as you're sprinting. But the actual jump you do is really close to how it was in Dark Souls 1, so it's not too different. Basically, like, places you could jump to in Dark Souls 1 were almost the same as what you can jump to now. You can tell I'm still kind of getting used to how much stamina my attacks are using up, finding myself in situations where I can't actually dodge or attack when I really want to. Taking a couple more hits there, but nothing too dangerous. You can also break down wooden doors, which is what I'm doing here. Just break the door down. You could open it too, but meh. Cracked red eye orbs are for invading other players, and we might do a little bit of that later on. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very happy with the game so far. There's a couple things here and there, you know, that I don't know. I mean, the controls, they're exactly the same, except that they just feel a little bit different. And it's really nitpicky stuff that I have to say about it. Like, sometimes when you start sprinting, it just looks a little weird in my opinion. It looks different than it did in Dark Souls 1. But getting used to the controls, being a lot more used to them now, even while I was recording this video, feels pretty good. So I guess it's a good time to address the fact that every once in a while, Fraps just wants to crap out on me for like 5 to 10 seconds at a time. So that's what happened there. I guess it's going to happen every once in a while, and I really hope it doesn't affect my gameplay during a tough fight or anything. I haven't noticed it do that yet. You know, it usually just happens when I go to a new area, so I apologize for that. I'm not really sure how to stop that from happening. So this part, you just want to quickly kill that guy and get up the ladder as fast as you can, because this archer has pretty good aim, and the arrows do decent damage early on. So we're probably going to be crunching another life gem here shortly. Yeah, there you go. And heading to this area. Now, there's something I want to talk about in this area, which I will be showing off, but I chicken shitted out. I didn't want to do it because I'm pretty sure I was going to die. I'll come back and kill these guys later. There's one, these guys are called ogres. There's one there, and it's in true Dark Souls fashion. If you just run over there, you're going to trigger a fight with both of them, because there's another one right there. And if you don't know that, then fighting two at once is a pretty tough thing to do. You can go back to the last room and sort of choke them into the doorway, but it takes forever, and I just didn't want to do that. So we'll come back later when we can kill them a little bit faster and see what we're missing out on, because honestly I can't even remember off the top of my head what we're missing there. So walking through this area, I actually noticed that there was an item that I didn't get from before, so I'm going to climb up and get that. And actually, that brings up another point. During this playthrough, it is very likely that I'll be missing treasures here and there. I'm going to be trying my best to find them all, but I'm not going to make it obnoxiously long searching corners and that kind of thing. Instead, what I'll do is I'll go through the areas as best as I know how, and I'll try to find everything I can, and I will do some exploring to try to find secrets that I don't even know about right now. But if I miss something, you know, I'll be doing like sort of mop-up videos throughout this series. Maybe every 3 or 4 videos we'll go back and we'll redo an area and get some of the things I missed. But anyway, welcome to Majula. This is the central hub of Dark Souls 2, and it's pretty damn nice. I'm pretty happy with it. It's nice and big, it's really sort of sprawling. There's merchants and blacksmiths and everything right here, right where you need it. So it's a pretty nice area. There are some items littered around as well, and I'm just kind of showing off a couple of different areas. There's a doorway or a hallway down there leading to another area in the game we'll be exploring later. Just like in Firelink Shrine, there's a few branching paths away from here that you can take. So actually, again, my first time through, it was pretty confusing to figure out which way I had to go. We're going to come over here and hit up this bonfire really quick. And there's lots of NPCs in this area, and we will be getting the dialogue of all of them, just not all at the same time, because I don't want to... you know, like, the lore is interesting and the voice acting is good, but so much at once is just, it gets boring after a while. You can't deny that. As much as you like the lore, there's just lots of standing around listening. So we're going to be taking it in kind of bite-sized chunks. But we just passed the Emerald Herald. We're going to come talk to this dwarf guy.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door. I'm a blacksmith. I'm nothing without my tools. Bring me that key. Chop, chop. I'm a blacksmith. Bring me that...
Wow. Can you talk to a stranger you just met that way? Like, just tell him to do something, chop, chop. Whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he can climb through that window in the doorway too. But that's going to be our blacksmith. We're going to be doing some upgrading with him, and we're going to be going back to him quite a bit. Just sort of taking the roundabout way. If you head up the right there, there's a covenant you can join, and I definitely recommend against it until you've beaten the game once or twice. Picking up life gems, sorry, all over the place here. And this is the house that belongs to Charlequois, I think her name is.
Oh, undead are we? And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, suit yourself. Oh yes, you may call me Charlequois. Enchanté. So, what did you want anyway? Ooh, you smell wonderful.
You smell wonderful. So you can abandon covenants with her, and she has a couple items she sells as well, some pretty useful rings. I'm interested in that Ring of Evil Eye. You can absorb health as you kill enemies. Seems pretty neat. I haven't tried it out yet, so maybe we'll do that. Also sells some good items like Homeward Bone. Prism Stones are kind of useless. Alluring Skulls are going to be useful in 1 or 2 areas. And
this place is already dead. Everything will crumble and waste away so that something new may be born. Isn't it wonderful? This place is fascinating. We receive only the most peculiar visitors. Folk like yourself. It's enough to keep even a cat amused. Are you going to see the old ones? Those 4 who have grown so incredibly ancient. They must have sprouted quite a thick coat of moss by now. For heaven's sake, no one even knows their names anymore. Imagine that. Yes, nothing like yourself. For you have a most pleasant scent that grows nicer with each passing day. Have you made friends with the man by the sea? He's lost everything. Absolutely everything. The only thing he's good for now is a few tidbits on covenants. Covenants are a type of, well, contract, you might say. You give something to gain something. It might be just the thing you need. Nothing suited you, I presume? Well, that's dismaying.
Yeah, that's a lot of talking. She might have more to say, but, you know, we'll deal with it later. Pretty useful stuff, though. The 4 old ones, she's sort of hinting at something that I guess we should have already known about, because generally we talk to the Emerald Herald first. This is a very important item to get, the Estus Flask Shard. Just knock that brick back into the well, and you'll get an Estus Flask shard. You can jump down here later on. I'm actually not that far into the game yet right now, so we'll get there later. This door's locked. We'll also get there later. This is a pretty important house here. There's a merchant on the ground, and we'll be talking to him in a sec. He's sort of like the town's dedicated merchant. The other guys sell things here and there, but this is the one where you can buy armor from and weapons and some other useful stuff. Pick up a Titanite shard here. The Titanite shards are returning. It's the same. It's easy to upgrade in this game. You just collect shards and you use those shards to upgrade your weapons and armor. Sort of messing around on the ladder there, but let's talk to this guy.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
Alright, let's take a look at his items here. Sells a few shields, and we're actually going to be purchasing the Silver Eagle Kite Shield. It is a very good shield to use right off the start, although right now we don't have the strength to carry it. They got the leather armor set, the falconer set, which is like what you start with if you get the knight, or if you start with the knight, but really not all that much going on right now. Did I buy the shield? Oh, I think I'm just going over the items I started with here. A scimitar and a short sword, both +1. Pretty nice. And we start with the Wanderer set. Yeah, and that's what I look like without it on. Wanderer set is, I don't know, it's light armor. You know, it does a pretty good job. I haven't found anything to replace it yet. But, you know, we'll be getting different armor later on as we go through the game.
Well, thank you for coming back.
Actually just going to go and purchase that shield now. We will have to level up one time before we can use it, but at least now we got
Thanks
it.
very much. And do please come again.
In our back pocket.
Well, thank you for coming. I came from the west, from Volgan. Have you been there? It's a lively place, vibrant with trade. Very competitive, of course. And you have to grease the wheels to get anywhere. But I didn't have the funding for that, so I left home in hopes of striking gold. It's been years since then, and I've made very little headway. I don't even know why I'm still here. Everything's all run down and dying. It's terrible for business, really. Well,
Okay. So he's an interesting little fellow. The more souls we spend with him, the better dialogue we get in terms of him actually being able to make a living now. It's kind of neat, and we'll talk to him a bit more later. Still one more person to talk to in this video. We haven't talked to the Emerald Herald yet. She's pretty much the main character of Majula that we will be coming back to over and over and over and over and over again. So let's talk to her right now.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey. Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick. Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid. Seek those whose names are unutterable, the four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
So we found the Estus shard, we can give it to her. And the way Dark Souls 2 works with its Estus is much different. You start with one swig, and
over
with
the
that
hill
shard,
and past the forest is the king's castle, where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul. But whatever came of it? Those who come to Drangleic seeking salvation soon lose hope and turn hollow. It happens to them all, sooner or later. That blue knight at the base of the tower, his spirit is already broken. Although he does offer sound advice. Perhaps he is a foreshadowing of your own future.
yeah, no, we will not be giving up on life like Solden has. And we'll talk to Solden soon enough. He just has tons and tons of dialogue, so I wanted to... Let's just get started here. That was a lot of talking. You know, it does get a little boring after a while, so this is the way you're going to be coming to get through with the start of the game. But first, let's talk about a couple of things the Emerald Herald said. The 4 souls, we need to gather them before we can see the king, and apparently our goal is to see the king, because that's what she said, so that's what we're doing. I've tried to make this jump a couple times. I don't know if it's possible. I didn't want to die, so I gave up. Just like Solden. Come through here on the right, there's a chest, and it's got something in it. I can't remember. A rusted coin. You can, I think you consume that, and it gives you higher item discovery. It says it raises your luck, so you can find items or farm enemies much better. So we're going to come here and pull this lever. Now, we're getting close to the end of the video here, but I did want to sort of get a little bit started on the main quest here. After all that talking and the tutorial, we haven't really gotten much action in. So, not that there's tons of action this way, but we're going to move ourselves to the first bonfire. So you come out here and finally getting started on the game. There's a lot more dialogue you can put yourself through too if you want, but we're going to be doing it in sort of bite-sized situations, just so that, you know, there's more action and less dialogue. So you can come down here and get this chest. And at the start of the game, there is motivation all over the place to use the new jump mechanic, and this is one of them. Bam! Jump over here and pick up the Homeward Bone and the Soul of the Lost Undead. And just continue down the creek here. Into the Forest of the Fallen Giants. It's not too bad of a starting area compared to Undead Burg. I actually think I like Undead Burg a little bit better, to be honest. It was pretty fun. Mostly just because I like the hollow enemies a little bit better than these guys. They seem even more generic than a regular hollow for some reason. But they have some armor on, so they can actually take a few hits before you kill them with a one-handed dexterity weapon. But you handle them just like the hollows from Dark Souls 1, and if they do get off a shot or two on you, it's not the end of the world. They don't do too much damage. This archer is annoying, though. And the Forest of the Fallen Giants definitely likes to throw archers at you. Ugh. Taking a couple shots there, but if you can get that combo off with the scimitar, it's pretty much always lights out for them. Head over here, pick up this item that this soldier dropped, the hollow infantry boots. More armor we won't be wearing. That item up there we'll be getting later. And we're going to go pick up this item down here, and then head to the bonfire. And that's where we're going to be ending the episode, guys. So let me know what you think about this so far in the comments. I am super excited to do this and get as far as we can in Dark Souls 2. Have some more discussions about the differences between 1 and 2 as we go along. bonfire, and this is where we will pick up on our next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.